afternoon. Did you turn data off on my phone? Gotta turn off data. Turn off data. Turn off data. Or else we get charged for being in the US of A. We switched SIM cards for the USA. 5 p.m. crossing. Center line, center line. How's everybody doing today? I never record this section of the highway, do I? Usually I record further down the highway, not this section right after the border. I never record border crossings. If you guys ever want me to, I can record border crossings into Canada, but I'll only do that if you guys are interested in that. I can't do border crossings into Washington though. They've got laws against that. So just across the border we enter a town of Oroville here right away. Come here every now and then to pick up packages that only ship in the US. We ship it here to Oroville and we get an email and come and pick it up. When do I want dinner? When do I want dinner? Whenever you feel like making it. We can. I'm not hungry yet. An hour, 2 hours from now, hour and a half. Yeah. Yeah, let's say an hour from now. Or 2 hours from now. I thought this RV park was closed. There's 2 RVs in it. Yeah, RV park closed. Big sign there, RV park closed. So there's some RVs parking there anyway. Yeah, a lot of these gas stations have gone out of business just across the border because our Canadian dollar is tanked so much that it's not worth coming across the border to fuel up. Right there is one of those chipping places we send stuff to. Chip it to us. There's at least 3 of them here in Oroville. "25 miles an hour, which cruise control doesn't do, so I gotta manually hold that speed through town." How terrible. Manually holding a speed. I'm gonna eat myself a Rice Krispie square. Nice little old community. Old brick buildings. RV trailer, a really steep angle down, so they're using the wrong hitch, and it's an old pickup truck. Got a feeling we're going to be slow. Ooh, they know how to use blinkers, and in time too, far enough ahead to warn me. Oh, but the RV doesn't have blinker fluid. No blinker fluid on the RV. That truck or car didn't even have a headlight or a blinker on the front. Don't think that's legal. Don't think that's illegal. We're gonna have a good dinner, something new. Smoky rice, red beans and chicken. Cool. Drinking water up through your nose? I think she's drinking water through her nose.
I don't know that.
How does that even happen?
It's like I was drinking, you hit a bump.
Hit a bump at the wrong time and you dumped water down your nose? It's a new way of intaking liquids. Oh yeah, there's lots of spray painting along the side of the road. Yeah. I never record this part of the highway because I find it boring. Did I already say that? You guys tell me, is it boring? I think I'm good for near misses, suicidal passes, so hopefully we don't have any more of those this week. That's enough excitement the last couple of weeks here. It's like 3 close calls. Very close together. I think I only put 2 of them online. There's another big rig passed me with a close call, oncoming traffic, but I'll release those 2. I'm thinking I'll make a whole video of just dash cam near misses. And maybe cool stuff like black bear crossing. you know, dash cam. I'd be a near miss too. Black bear crossing right in front of you at night, even though you can't really see it, but you can see the black bulge moving across the road right in front of me.
Nothing compared to the moose.
Yeah. Yeah, that was in the Toyota Matrix up north, Highway 16, I believe. Flying down the highway at night, and on the white line, a moose standing right there. As we flip past it, it's like, holy smokes! Close, so close. If you want to know who's going to win, the moose or the Matrix, it's not the Matrix. It's a nice little car. We did really well as far as money goes with the Matrix. It was pretty awesome. We drove that Matrix for like $1,000 a year, something like that. I forget the exact number, but it was small. Because we got paid out almost as much as we paid into it. Almost. It just happened to be really good timing when I rode off. When I crashed the Matrix, it was just really good timing. They just stopped making them, and they increased, the value of them was going up dramatically. There's a high demand for them. So my insurance would have gone up because the value was going up. We had it all paid off, so we just got a check. I took the check and put it into our Tacoma. And hindsight, I would have bought a Tundra instead of a Tacoma. Yeah. But at the time, that's all we really needed or thought we needed. But a Tundra would have been better. Or even bigger, a ton truck for diesel. That would have been really good for it. If we had bought a ton truck with a diesel, I would now be looking at buying a camper for it. Because we could totally move into a camper and literally live in it and not have any rent. Beautiful in its own way over here. It just, I've seen it so many times. Oh, that's where the fire must have been. That's fresh fire on the left hand side there, freshly burnt mountain. It's got to be the location. Had all that rain this weekend, so must have helped them make it out. They were saying it was all under control on Friday or Thursday already. Canadian water bombers helped. Yeah, it's so close to the border. Help each other out. The U.S. helps us out too when there's fires near the border. Because if you don't, it might become your problem. So, and then it'll be a huge problem. Yeah, all that rain has actually apparently really put a lot of moisture in the ground. They had quite a few lightning strikes, and the fires were just smoldering fires. They sat there for days smoldering before people found them, so that's good news. Smoldering fires from lightning strikes is good news. It takes days to find them. You know, then the ground's pretty wet. That's good. Got a lot of rain. Needed that. Unfortunately, I have a feeling that we're done with rain now. I have a feeling in the next week or two it's going to go dry, and then in a month from now we're going to have forest fires. 2 months ago I thought we would be smoked out by now already. I thought it was going to be a really bad year, but we've gotten decent rains, so that's been really, really good. Yeah, it's still a level 3 drought. We don't have enough water, but it's better than I thought it was going to be. So some people walking the tracks. Ellis Ford, the little community that you would think the speed limit would get reduced, but we fly through it. So I always got my eyes open for people on the road, because every now and then there's someone walking along the road. Rig that crossed customs after us is on our bumpers, so he's obviously speeding.
She said to get checked to the
Yeah, the border crossing asked if there were just 3 of us today. I'm like, excuse me? Well, 3 Sutco trucks today. You're the 3rd one. I'm like, oh. I didn't know there was others crossing this way today. Are they headed to Coeur d'Alene as well, or are they steel shot headed to Seattle or Tacoma, Portland? Who knows? We're headed to Coeur d'Alene. If there's no oncoming traffic, I will always go wide, just in case they pop their door open. The door zone is so scary. Was door bopping? She finds it funny. Motorcycles, door zone is something you seriously think about when you're riding motorcycles. It is something every single car you drive by that's parked there, you're thinking about the door zone. Really nice and cloudy today. Should be a good day. It would have been a good day today to go for a bike ride. Yesterday it was raining, so we couldn't go quadding. Today we could have gone quadding, but of course I'm working. Oh, that shop burnt down. Got a big bug splat right in my line of vision. You know, with all that rain we drove through on Friday, I still have bug streaks on the window. Like, how's that possible? From, what was that, Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday night, I got all of them. What's my Qualcomm beeping about? Yeah, it probably says governed by U.S. laws or whatever, right? Sometimes it takes a couple of minutes to switch over. Apparently lots of minutes today. It is raining up out that way. Definitely. It's a little higher up in the mountains there, but we're going to turn east here in Omak. Most of the time when I go this way, I record Grand Coulee Dam. I'm like, yeah, we should record something else this time. Something boring. I'll take a boring day. My engine hasn't blown up. It's nice to have a fixed engine. Or a fixed rad. A rad that was actually cleaned out properly. And they dealt with the engine light, they've dealt with, or they gave me a marker light for the marker light that was out. Like, I've got no defects on this thing. The trailer air leak has been fixed. I do have a bunch of tires that are getting low. I haven't tread depth them this weekend yet, but last weekend when I did it, they were starting to get pretty low. 25. Last weekend when I did it, I had a couple tires at 6/32 and 7/32, so I got a feeling some of them might be at 5/32 this week. And that's when we replace them. They're legal to 1/32. Actually, no, we replaced them at 4/32. Yeah, 4/32. Okay. Yeah, we replaced them at 4/32. And they're legal to 1/32. One. Steers are legal at 2/32, and we replace steers at 5/32. And I honestly will never do that again. I will replace my steers at 6/32. If it's winter. If it's icy, I want at least 6/32 on my steers. Because last time I did that, I was down to 4 and 5/32 on my steers. Hit a slippery patch and there was no turning. It was just going straight. You need a little more grip. Okay, sir, there's a crosswalk over here and ahead. Oh, he wants a ride. 97 south. There we go. Way station closed. One of these days I'm going to miss this sign. It's in town. Signs everywhere. One of these days I'm going to miss that sign. And the scale's going to be open. One of these days we come eat over here because this place is always packed with cars. Yeah, there's always cars there. Yeah. Good idea. Let's do it. You'll even drive. We'll have lunch at the Mexican restaurant on the north end of town and supper at this end. We'll go visit Wenatchee or Spokane or something. Big rig still following me. Sometimes they turn off there. I could have turned off there too. It's a high mountain pass though, and not really giving me a shortcut. good weekend. Jess regrets one thing on the weekend, but oh, he's got his ladder out on the passenger side, like his steps out. That's legally a wide load. He's not allowed to have his steps out, and with the steps out, they're pretty low. He could hook a curb and rip those steps right off. Risky, RV driver, risky. Maybe just forgot him. Doesn't he look in the mirrors? Probably not. Or he just left them on purpose. But I was saying how we were talking about games I enjoy, and Microsoft Flight Sim X10. My computer didn't like that simulator at all. And she just goes, you know, you have a new graphics card, it might work. It's like, good idea, install immediately. And it works. Works beautiful. Played many hours yesterday. Buy what game you want? Find a game you want to play? I thought Stardew Valley was hitting the spot. They did a very funny seal coating here. When they seal coat in Canada, they usually seal coat the whole roadway, all the way across. Here they just did the two main ruts, and it has made the road hard to drive. It's got little edges where the grooves used to be, little edges, so it's always pulling you left and right. Bug splat. So you're always getting pulled left and right. It's like all of a sudden it's pulling you to the yellow line, and then it's pulling you to the white line. And I get it probably saves them quite a bit of money if you think about how much lighter gray area is in the center of the road and in the center of the lanes. They're probably putting almost half the amount of sealer on it, but basically just dump out tar, dump gravel on top of it, and call it good. But it has made it a slightly ruddy, funny look feeling road. Yeah, it was definitely an eyesore when they first did it. And rough with all the gravel. The gravel slowly gets beat into the road or thrown into people's windshields. I do have a rock chip on my window. We have our first rock chip. Got it last week sometime. At least I think I did. I hadn't seen it before, so. Right behind the GPS, so. This windshield's been doing really good for rock chips, so. irrigate all these fields here. They're nice and green. Is that alfalfa? Feels like alfalfa. Why is alfalfa not in Farming Simulator? Alfalfa should be in there for feeding your cattle. Should have peas in there too. A lot of the stuff wouldn't take much coding to. Like a lot of the plants look so similar to each other. You wouldn't have to change the graphics a lot to add some more crops in there and sell for almost the same price as the other ones. It'd be nice to have a little more variety. So what if soybeans and peas and beans all almost look the same on the field? Okay, Mr. Van Truck, I know you're faster than me. I know you want to ride my bumper, but could you not? That would be swell. Looks like it's just a 18-wheeler, 5-axle. He's lighter than me, but I'm going the speed limit. Here you can see they've seal coated twice in the same fashion. I think it'd be less of an issue if they could drive straight along the road when they seal coated. It might not pull as much one way or the other as you're hitting those lines. Sagebrush here, and if a fire ever came through here, it would just roar through here. Jeff says some of it's burned from a long time ago. Yeah, there will be fires along here. Yeah, last year there was a couple of big fires along here.
Couple years ago. I think.
Every year there's fires down here. But I still see green in the grass, so. Places places like this, a forest fire goes through here. Well, it's not really a forest fire, it's like a brush fire, wildfire. It does no real damage. If you can keep it from housing and fencing, it doesn't do any damage to the environment. The sagebrush and grass pops right back. Next year you won't even know there was a fire there. Forest really, really sucks in forest. Every time a forest burns down, that's trees that a lumber mill can't cut. The Canadian government only allows a certain amount of trees to be harvested in a year, and that includes pine beetle and forest fires. So any forest that gets destroyed by pine beetle and any forest that gets burned gets treated as if it got harvested by a lumber mill. So with all the forest fires, their lumber mills are having trouble cutting enough trees down to keep open, which will drive the lumber prices up, but it makes sense to limit it. You have to regrow it. It takes so many years to regrow it, so you should basically, you want to do the math. It takes this many years to regrow it, so you can only do that percentage every year, cut that percentage every year. Yeah, every tree a lumber mill cuts down, they have to plant 3 new trees, because the chances of surviving is one out of 3. So they want you to plant enough that you're going to be at least replacing and maybe adding to the forest. So really a good way of reducing our lumber prices is to prevent forest fires. And it's going to be harder and harder with the climate changing and hot spells and more extreme weather. More extreme wet, more extreme dry, so. Hopefully get some extreme cold in there every now and then too, where the pine beetles are, to kill them. And that'll help keep the lumber prices down as well. Omak Airport, up that side road. Oh, so the airport must be on top of the hill there. Up ahead, but that little road will get you to the airport. Can't be a very big airport. Throwing away burning materials prohibited. Really? Okanagan River down there. Seems really nice and calm. Looks pretty clear. In Penticton, lots of people were floating down the river channel again. I don't know, I think we're having a really lucky, clear summer so far. Very happy. So apparently US Walmarts no longer allow truckers to park on their lot, not even to go in and shopping. People are getting tickets.
It's like it's official, I just think there's more management.
So how are we supposed to go shopping if more and more of that happens? I understand they don't want their whole lot to be filled with big rigs. And how some big rig drivers are such pigs, they leave a mess behind, they leave their garbage, use the parking lots as urinals. Unfortunately, but how am I supposed to go shopping? I need groceries. Usually I find a place to drop my trailers and bobtail to a Walmart parking lot, but apparently even that people are getting tickets for now. So it's like I need to buy groceries. So if I can, I'll park on a road near grocery stores. Probably avoid Walmarts in the US now, but because in the past we've gone into this Walmart, just parked in the yard out of the way, gone in, done our grocery shopping, and jumped back in and leave. We don't never sleep in the yard. We don't like sleeping in Walmart yards. Yeah, usually small towns you can get away with more. The big cities, I wouldn't even try. Garmin's telling me to turn here, but I know better. The back of the van had what? They're collecting tumbleweeds?
I think that maybe just they did maintenance, make it look pretty.
Oh, maybe making the yard look pretty, cutting sagebrush down and...
No, it's like tumbleweed, it wasn't sagebrush.
Was not sagebrush, was tumbleweed. I don't know.
The brush you look
I don't know. People are weird.
Turn right at the traffic light.
No, thank you.
This one you could park at that truck stop.
Yeah, here you could park at that truck stop and walk to the Walmart across the road. Yeah, you can do that. This truck stop is usually pretty full though, and not super beef friendly. This guy's turning here. This will be interesting. Are they going to the truck stop or are they headed the same way we are? Can't tell?
Say no.
Because there's two ways to turn onto the road we want to take.
Turn right on Bacon Street South.
Oh, Garmin's actually directing me this way for once. In the past, it's now given me new directions to go south through Wenatchee. But it's actually getting me to turn here in the proper place now. Nice, that's improvement. We want to be on the road right below us here. And the way the other truck went goes through downtown. This one bypasses the road and you have to go back, so they're really the same length. Downtown one I always found slower unless you're a speeder. We're at half a tank of fuel, so Pacific Pride is not needed.
In 1/4 mile, turn right on Omak Avenue.
Welcome to Omak.
A traffic problem was reported on I-90.
Traffic problem in 158 miles. I'm not too worried about that. Stampede Museum.
Continue on Omak Avenue.
Well guys, thank you for watching. Basically I have video all the way from the US or Canadian border all the way down to Omak. Almost an hour. I always think it's an hour, but it only took us 50 minutes. So yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Unload in Coeur d'Alene and see where we're headed after that. Got a feeling we'll head down to Spokane, get a load of bricks. We'll see where the load of bricks will head, but that's what I think will get loaded tomorrow. Watch tomorrow to find out.